You're mine. Move this over. I gotta stop this whole like zoom in.
That was great.
Doesn't.
That was good. And then the last time I thought that we weren't broadcasting on Facebook, and we actually, because I didn't see that. Make sure. Shall we? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday, and I'm with Rachel right here. And on Fridays, we do brick piles and Brusen, as most of you know. We are going to incorporate some sort of heavy lifting with our brick pile and our Brusen, just to give you folks who have access to heavy equipment something different, a different look, because this is still part of this is going to kick off our heavy week for next week. Okay, so Rachel has her 65-pound bar and her 45-pound kettlebell. Hiding. I'm going to stick to my 15-pound dumbbells and my kettlebell. Okay, so let's again start with a simple warm up: bodyweight squats, lunges, and RDLs. Starting in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push your butt back. Inhale. Exhale as you straighten out. So very good. Now, as the days are getting hotter, it might be a better idea to keep your number 1, stay hydrated. Number 2, avoid the sun as much as you can. And number 3, just keep your workouts indoors as much as you can, or at least under shade. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet together. Take a step forward. Lunge. Exhale as you step back. Now, for those of you having trouble with lunges, all you have to do is repeat the squat, or you can do what Rachel is doing, taking a step back lunge instead of step forward. So the difference is that you don't have to push yourself back up to starting position. Instead, you take a natural step forward back to starting position. RDLs is third in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet close together. Slide your hands down your legs. Bend your knees slightly as you touch your feet and straighten back up. Good. Keep your stomach engaged, of course. And pulling your belly button towards your spine. Need that right? So that's the sensation there. Inhale as you come down. Exhale as you slowly come back up. You got 10 more seconds of this. Awesome. Back to squat position in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Get back to squat position. Squat down, reach across, touch the opposite foot. Inhale. Exhale as you stand up. It's very important that you turn your head as you're turning your chest, your entire upper torso, towards that front foot or that foot that you're touching. Spine follows your eyes, so if you turn your head, your eyes will direct your spine to the proper location, to the proper position. 10 more seconds of this. We do the same thing to lunges again. You can take a step forward lunge or a step back lunge. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet together, take a step forward lunge. Reach across, touch that front foot. Now, the reach, don't get ahead of yourself. The reach will encourage you to hinge further. But that doesn't mean that front knee is going to bend further forward as well. You still have to make sure that front knee, watch Rachel's front knee, 10 more seconds, is not pushing past her shoelaces. That means you're going to have to keep your core engaged and then drop that back knee down as you reach forward in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Touchdowns is our third exercise. It's an RDL, Romanian deadlift, but we are alternately touching the opposite foot. Lift the other arm towards the ceiling, or keep them by your side if you're not comfortable. So you have some shoulder issues that restrict your arm movement. You can keep the inactive arm by your side. Let's do this for 10 more seconds. We've got one more series. It's called the windmills. In 4, 3. I forgot what it's called. 2, and 1. Back to squat position for our last series. Squat down, place one hand on the floor, and reach for the ceiling with the other one. So as you can see, all we're doing here is we're increasing the range of motion. Whereas on the first set, we didn't put our hands to the ground. On the second set, we simply reached across to the opposite foot. Now we're actually putting our hands to the ground and reaching for the ceiling. Same thing for the lunges. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, if this gets a little too intense, if placing your hand on the ground is a bit too intense for you, I want you to go back to the reach. So you're reducing the range of motion. Here we're increasing the range of motion. Inhale. Exhale, just put that hand down and push yourself back up. 10 more seconds. We're going to end this with toy soldiers. Very good. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Toy soldiers, to finish this off, which we also use in place of mountain climbers. Mountain climbers will be our last workout of the morning. And again, you're not kicking your legs as much as you're lifting them. 10 seconds down. And in some of my previous classes at 24, some of our members were doing this in place of sit-ups. So again, you could also use mountain climbers in place of sit-ups. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. All right. So most of you are already familiar with the concept of the brick pile. Brick pile, much like Brusen, we have 5 exercises that get easier and easier, but we increase the reps and we also increase the number of sets. So for instance, we're going to start with a 1-minute plank because that's the hardest, followed by 2 sets of 10 burpees or 20 straight if you can, or renegade rows. So some of the people prefer to do renegade rows rather than burpees. They can do that as well. Followed by 3 sets of 15 TRX muscle ups. I will show you what the muscle up are. Is if you don't have a TRX, if you don't have a TRX with you and you do have dumbbells, you can simply do a bicep curl to shoulder press, something that's multiple, basically multiple planes of motion. 4 sets of 20 kettlebell swings. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can do drop squats instead. And then finally, another 5 sets of 30 seconds core or cardio. Okay. All right. So Rachel, are you gonna substitute any of these workouts here?
Yeah, instead of the burpees, I'm gonna be doing. I know Anton said renegade rows. I'm just gonna be doing a regular row with a bar.
Yeah.
I might do. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
There's a lot of. I was gonna do clean to press for muscle ups.
Yeah.
But that's a lot, so maybe I might
15
just
is a
do one
lot.
set.
Or you can strip the plates.
Yeah.
You can do a 45, or you can even do a high pull to a press. Something like that.
So
So we'll mix it. We'll mix things up. That's the beauty of this class. We're not committed to one move. We're committed to moving. All right. So let's start with a 1-minute plank. No mats needed for me. In 4, you can also do this off your knees. 3, 2, and 1. So not a lot of people have the luxury of being able to see themselves on the monitor or mirror when they do their planks. But if you have somebody at home who's willing to spot you 15 down, ask them to spot your form as far as the planks go. What should they be looking for? That your shoulder and your butt are about the same level, and that your butt is not twisted. So they have to look at you from behind and from the side, or front and the side. 30 seconds.
One thing I notice a lot in low planks too is people tend to let their abdominals go because they're focused so much on everything else. So this tends to happen. The belly drops. Pull it in. I think that's fine.
Right.
15, less than 15.
And it starts with your elbows placement just underneath your shoulders. If you go a little too far forward or too far back, that's when you compromise your form too. And okay. All right. So I'm gonna do both the renegade row and the burpees. I'll start with the renegade row. So renegade row is basically a push-up to a pair of plank rows. Most of you already know that. I'm gonna do first 10 renegade rows. This is 2, 3. I count the push-up and not the rows. If you don't want to do a push-up, or that's fine. That means you're gonna do 20 rows, 10 bears. 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. Now what Rachel has here is a 45-pound Olympic bar. It's about 7 feet long, and a pair of 10-pound lumber plates. Now, is it a good idea to have that at home? Why not? Okay, why not? But the only thing you can't do with this, if it's too heavy, you can't do squats unless you have a squat rack. I do not recommend trying to force that thing over your head just so you can squat. The most you can probably do is a deadlift, heavy deadlift, or even a front squat, but not a back squat, not recommended. All right, so now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do 10 burpees to finish off the second line. 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna add a push-up because we're not gonna be doing push-ups on this series. 2, 3. In fact, we rented some of our bars out to some of our members. 4, 5. We really just do a lot of lifting. It's 6.
You can just help a friend move too.
You can help a friend move. That's enough lifting for you. 7, 8, 9, and 10. One of my worst experience, Rachel, of moving, it's just my forearms were sore, nothing else. It's from grabbing stuff, you know, when you're squeezing and grabbing. If you're not used to it, it's your forearms that get sore, not your back, not your legs, not your biceps. It's not. All right, muscle ups, or you can do cleans?
I'll do first round cleans.
Yeah, first round cleans. You're gonna do 65 pounds, or
Yeah,
you're gonna do 45? Oh my god. All right, so I'm gonna show you what the muscle up is from the TRX perspective. Just a few, and I'm gonna show you what you can do in place of muscle ups if you don't have TRX. So the TRX muscle up is basically bending your knees slightly, dropping your whole weight to the ground, and then pulling your chest aside. Again, it's not a squat. Basically, just bending. You're bending from the hip, dropping all your weight towards the ground, and then pulling yourself up. So you're going to do 3 sets of 15 of that. Your option, if you have dumbbells or kettlebells, you can simply do a high pull to a press. Okay, it's almost the same movement. You got hip movement and an arm movement. Okay, it's not going to be as intense, but it mimics it. It's the reverse movement of that. Rachel will do a clean and press, which is a much harder version of the high pull and press. And again, it's the same movement: a hip explosion, and then an overhead. All right, ready? 15 of these. That's one.
So I'll talk a little bit about this at the moment. Technically, what I should be doing is following through with the entire motion and squatting all the way down, but I'm not willing to do that today. So the one thing you want to think about in cleans is same in dance, elbow, wrist, hand, then up. Unless you want to do reverse row, which I see a lot of people do, reverse curl. Sorry, not a reverse row. Reverse row would just be a push-up. Yeah. So without the bar, it's all about timing. I don't know if you've seen. Same with the kettlebell. From that position here, and down. Yeah, just a curl press.
So switching over to kettlebell clean and press or kettlebell high pull to a press. So same movement. It's a hip thrust to bring that kettlebell to your chest. You got a little push press to finish the movement. When I use a heavy kettlebell, I catch it at the bell, not at the horn. If it's light enough, I'll catch it at the horn, simply press it overhead like I'm picking up a baby. Instead, I'll catch it at the bell. Now, do you have to squat for that, for the push press? No. It's the same movement. Push your butt back. So it's 2 hip thrusts. That's 1. That's 2. I think that's 7. Now, the problem sometimes, now I've encountered this with a lot of clients in the past. If your bar is too light, there's a tendency to use more arms than legs. So ideally, you perform a clean and press with a weight, I think this is 13. That would be impossible for you to pull past your chest. So as Rachel was talking about, you're bringing your body underneath the bar rather than squatting. Think of it as trying to lift the bar as high as you can using your legs and then trying to beat gravity. That's exactly what the clean movement is. If I may. Yeah. So what I'm talking about is when you do a high pull, that high, you're only going to be able to do that for a split second and you're not going to be able to hold it, what they call the rack position. So what I would do is I would reach underneath, okay? Because that's as high That's as high I can get that bar. Ideally, if the bar is about 125, 135 pounds. So it's all about speed, really. It's not about strength. You're not trying to power that bar. I've seen a lot of tiny lifters, even girls who clean and press 3 times their body weight simply by using technique and strength. All right, my last set of muscle ups. Most figures are young, younger. With the clean and press, if you're still engaged in sports, it's a very useful workout, very functional. 10, 5 more.
Also want to go back to if your bar is too light, which your body's going to take the path of least resistance, so it's going to engage the wrong muscles, like
forearms, biceps.
Yeah, and you could possibly get injured by having too light a weight as opposed to too heavy a weight, like myself. Okay.
All right, we're about halfway through. Our target time is 15 minutes, so we're about just past halfway through. We have 4 sets of 20 kettlebell swings. Again, I'm going to show you what you can do instead of the kettlebell swings. I'm going to do drop squats for the first set. Hands by your sides, feet together. Drop your elbows to your knees or between your legs 20 times. 3, 2, and 1. It's a bit more plyometric than a kettlebell swing, but takes about the same amount of time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 20. Okay. Now, is it okay? Is it wrong to go 40 straight or 80 straight? No. If you have the stamina to do that, you should do so, okay? But it's highly recommended that you take your breaks. This is still HIIT's workout, which means the first interval should be as strong as the last interval. And the only way you can do that is taking your breaks. Round number 2 of 4. I'm going to do kettlebell swings now in 3, 2, and 1. Rachel's going to do the drop squat. So we're going to be alternating. And it's also a good idea to mix it up. 5, 6. Boy, you swing a kettlebell much faster than me. 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I don't go down more, I'm just short. Alright, so that's my second set, so I'm halfway through. I'm gonna go back to my drop squats. Now, how much time do you rest in between? 10, 15 seconds. That's 3 deep breaths. When your heart rate starts to go, then you go down to, or you start back up, right? Second set, 3, third set, 2, and 1. Again with the and
Don't do what I just
the
did.
most important. So, not to throw Rachel on the bus,
It's fine.
but anytime you use your kettlebell, you gotta commit to it. You gotta already decide what to do with it. Not midair, but even before you lift it. Okay? Very important. Why? It's a dangerous piece of equipment. It travels in an arc. So if that arc goes all the way around, that's when you get into an accident. So commit to the movement. Don't change your mind. Not like Michael Jordan trying to dunk or trying to lay up against James Worthy. I think it's 18, 19, and 20. Very good. Then I'm going to do another kettlebell workout. It's a figure 8. It mimics the same movement as a swing. I usually do a figure 8 if the kettlebell is too heavy. If I'm just not in the mood for it. Okay? So I'm going to pass the kettlebell between my legs 20 times. Okay? Total. All right. 4, 3, 2, and 1. This is a 35-pound kettlebell. And as you can see, it's the same movement, pushing my hips back, but it's not as explosive. Range of motion is the same. Compression, extension, compression, extension. 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30, 20. Good. All right. So now we come to either core or cardio. We're going to do a mix of both. I'm going to do a 30-second side plank on both sides. Okay. Grace is gonna get a jump rope.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's gonna get a jump rope. I'm gonna do 30 seconds of side planks on each side. Then I'll probably do some buzz saw, which I will do off the kettlebell as well. Okay. So I'm gonna start my side plank in 4, 3, 2, and 1. So for those who are on Instagram, yeah. This is my side plank, 30 seconds each side. We're gonna go straight through, so all I'm gonna do is just flip over. 10 seconds. Oh, see, you're getting good at that.
I'm so
10 more
loud.
seconds.
Sorry.
Nice. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Moving about a second. Back to side planks. This is my second set of 30 seconds. Come to side planks without even looking at the clock. All I have to do is just flip over. 10 seconds down.
Did you have some more seconds? 40 minutes?
And 10 seconds. Yeah, I think I started the 45. That's okay, but there's like 2 or 3 seconds lost there. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, the next 3 sets is going to be a variety of buzzsaw. I'm going to use the kettlebell, the heavier one. So it's also known as a soccer kick. I'm just going to kick it in 3, 2, and 1. So we're basically doing a boxer shuffle against the kettlebell. Why the kettlebell? Something solid. Get something solid. 10 seconds down.
You do this on a curve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can do this. The first time I've ever seen people do this at the bottom of the step or curve. 10 more seconds. And it's not as easy as it looks in 5, 4,
Doing a good job.
2, and 1. All my kettlebells are a lot heavier than yours. See if I could raise this. Oh, you're gonna go.
But you can always do
Flutter
bars.
kicks? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, this is set number 4 and 4. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, this is much better. It's a little higher. It's about 8 inches off the floor. You gotta really have a nice light touch. Is that 15 seconds? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So we'll finish this off. This is going to be our 5th. We just passed the 15-minute mark. We're going to do another set. I think I'll do it all the dumbbells. I don't trust myself. We're going to do it all the dumbbells, another set, last set of the buzzsaw in 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're just doing mat climbers, which we'll be doing later on.
I'll switch it.
So this is basically just running in place. 10 seconds. Good stuff. 10 more. All right. So this is 16. 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. All right. So that's the brick pile. There's been some days when we go down the brick pile, go back up. When you do that, you make the turn, you pivot off the cardio. So after the cardio, you go back to the swings. After the swings, you go back to the muscle ups or cleans. After that, you do the burpees or rows, or you rows, and you finish it on the plank. If you went down for 16 minutes, then you can safely assume that it's only going to take you minus 2.5 minutes, so about 12 or 13 minutes to finish the rest of that workout. All right, so for Brusen, it's very straight up. I like to keep track of the time anyways, but we got 5 exercises, 10 reps for the first exercise, 20 for the second, 30 for the third, 40 for the fourth, and then finally 50 for the fifth. You don't have to go straight through. You can divide that into 3 sets or 4 sets or 5 sets of 10, which is kind of like what we did with the brick pile, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of different things with the bar. I'll figure it out as I go. So
As we go,
I'll explain as soon as I'm
I'm gonna grab a medicine ball first. Go ahead.
For the first round, we're doing 10 reps. So 20 if you're counting single hands, well, both hands. 10 if you're counting one hand. Plank ups. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of plank ups, so I'm just gonna do overhead press. Instead, it's not It's kind of almost the same, but not really. I mean, the upper body is being engaged, especially if you're using a heavy bar. You have a tendency, especially when push pressing, to push the booty out. So engaging the abdominals always to make sure that that tailbone stays pointed down towards the floor, especially when you're lifting something so heavy you don't want to let that belly go. If that makes any sense. You'll see.
And because the plank up is, well, I don't find it as challenging as some of the exercises we used to lead off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add what's called a pickup. I'm going to start on low plank, get up to my hands, reach underneath me, pick up that dumbbell and transfer it to the other side. Notice that I always lead off with the opposite hand. Double on my right, lead off with my left. Double to my left, lead off with my right. Okay? So that's our first 10 reps. Then I'm going to tell you what the next 20 are. Okay? 10 for, what are you doing?
Just overhead press.
Okay.
Push press.
Push press with a 65-pound bar. In for 3, 2, and go. So low plank to high plank. Add a pickup if you can with a medium dumbbell. That's 1. That's 2. Couple of rules to remember. That's 3. Place your hand where your elbow was. This is 4. You're not going to be able to successfully stop all rotation. That's 5. You can live with a little bit of rotation, but as much as possible, this is 6. Try not to rotate as you make your way up from low to high plank. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Awesome. All right, second exercise are ball sacks. Again, if you don't have a medicine ball and you have a dumbbell, you can simply do a vertical chop. What's a vertical chop? Hold the dumbbell or hold the dumbbell in your hand, lift it over your head, and then just chop it to the ground like you're trying to break a coconut, okay? We've all done that. Otherwise, if you have a medicine ball and you have some place to throw it at, use a medicine ball. I'm going to start with 10 medicine ball throws and then switch off over to the dumbbell vertical chop. 3, 2, and 1. For those of you with a medicine ball, go all the way down. Why? You're going to go down anyways to pick it up. So you might as well cut to the chase. Let it bounce and pick it up. That's 5. Notice that at the last second at the top, I lift my heels up. 6 gives me leverage. 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you can go 20 straight, go 20 straight. I'm going to switch off to a lighter dumbbell. It's a 15-pounder. By the way, if you're going to do a vertical chop, make sure your dumbbell's light. Don't go too heavy. Something that you could grab. Same movement, like you're picking it up, throwing it down. 3, 2, and 1. Lifting off my heels. 2. Stomping my feet, actually. 3, 4. 5 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So that's what you do if you don't have a sand ball. I do highly recommend sand ball, especially for those of you who have a place to use it. All right, the most boring exercise, also the most challenging, and the most portable exercise, push-ups. We're going to do 30 push-ups. Now, I recommend cutting it up into 10s. I'll probably take a quick break in between each 10. We're going to get into a pike position. Rach, what do you do?
I'm going to do bench press.
You're going to do bench press. All right.
Opposite.
Yep. That's what some people prefer to do. I'm going to do my push-ups off my dumbbells because I like that position better. Rach is going to do bench press.
First off, don't do what I'm about to do. Just don't. It's not smart.
Yeah, just pretend that she's got a bench press, right? All right, she's in position.
Oh. No, I'm fine.
All right, never mind. Okay. I'm going to try to do 30 straight push-ups. 3, 2, and 1. 9, that's 10, a little break. I'll spot you. That's 20.
That's okay. Halfway.
9 and 30. Good. So let me know. All right, so that was 30 push-ups. Rachel's on her way to 30 bench presses. I'll take it away from you.
Sorry.
Tell me.
5 more. 6,
And
30.
Alright.
Thank you.
So that is how
Don't do what I just did. Sorry.
you can if you have a
Yeah.
Now, for most of you who've had experience with body pump, that's how you get into position for your body pump, right? Anything more than 6, anything that you can't lift to your chest, please don't, okay? I'd rather you do 100 bench presses with an empty bar than try to get yourself into that position. Also, for those of you who have really strong and you have these plastic benches, the plastic bench might not be able to hold your weight or you might tip over, okay? Including the with a bar. All right, 40 TRX pull-ups. 40 TRX pull-ups. I think I can go 40 straight. Are you gonna do rows?
Yeah, I can do rows.
So
I'm fine. You do have
40
to have.
rows. She's already done rows. You don't have to use a loaded bar. A 45-pound bar is plenty. 45-pound bar.
Especially with such high reps.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go over a little bit of the row position, just because it's a little bit more complex, I think, than people realize, especially if you're doing it properly. It doesn't just work posterior, it works pretty much everything, especially in the deadlift position. I like to set up my rows with my thumbs about, what am I saying? Thumbs length away from my thighs. You can't always adjust your hand grip when doing so. I like doing rows with the bar, in particular more than dumbbells, because I have a line of sight where my bar is going to go. So from this deadlift position, again, we're not pushing the booty out. So glutes are engaged, lower body's engaged, core is definitely engaged to keep in this position. And you're just going to row, hold that dumbbell, what am I saying? Barbell towards your belly button, back down.
By the way, if you don't have dumbbells or bar, or TRX or bar, you have dumbbells, just do flies. Or you can also do dips, okay? You can do dips or sit-ups, any kind of hinging workout, any kind of hinging workout. All right, this is the next 20.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do dips.
Dips?
So I'll demonstrate the dip. I dip, you dip, you dip. Okay. Harder version, legs extended. Hard version, knees bent. You can even, I don't know, add a reach or whatever you want. I shouldn't.
If you have a partner you're physically comfortable with, they can put you down.
True.
Or they can add weight to you. Alright, so now we're on our 5th exercise, which is 15 air squats. Again, don't load up your squats. Just do 15 air squats straight through. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. You should be doing all week long, huh?
Yeah.
And the workout was also
Every
15
day.
air squats. Unfortunately, this doesn't count to your steps.
No. Oh, so July 31st, I ran 105.99 miles.
Nice, made it. Made it.
I did it. The only thing I didn't do was my half marathon. That's fine.
Oh yeah. Huh. It's frequency, not loading. This is 20. We got 30 to go. We're just past the 7.5 minute mark, so we're averaging about 8 minutes with explanation and all. So that's a still pretty good pace. 30. 7, 8, 9, 40.
Sorry. I really like this song.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 50. There. So we finished in 8 minutes. Okay, so that's our first column of Brusens. We normally do 2. Back in the day, we would do 3. So same pattern. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 10 being the hardest or the exercise that takes the most time. 15 being the easiest or the exercise that takes the least amount of time. If you saw the notes, we have burpee, shoulder press, or simply burpees, or simply shoulder press or thrusters. Bike heel taps. I'm going to show you 2 ways you can do your bike heel tap. You can either do a bike heel tap on a plank position, or you can do windshield wipers in the prone position. Flies with the dumbbells. Again, if you don't have dumbbells, you can do dips. 40 V-ups, and then 15 mountain climbers, okay? But let's start first with a burpee press. So burpee shoulder press is come down to a burpee and then press the dumbbells over it, or simply do burpees. In for 3, 2, And 1. I'm gonna add a push-up to this one because it's only 10. Each rep is taking about 5 or 6 seconds, so I'll be taking up the entire minute with this. 4, 5, 6, 7,
Did you hear about that
8. What now?
5-point push-up or 5-point burpee where it's
No.
1,
9.
obviously 2,
Uh,
and then it's
push
like
up.
3,
Ooh.
4, and then you come back up. You do something really weird, or it's like 5 steps to it. I think you see it.
Yeah, that's
Weird.
okay. That sounds. Well, the thing is, I need a minimum of 10 reps. If I'm gonna do anything hard, I need a minimum. That's what I call sustainability. If I can't do it for 10 reps, I'm not gonna ask anyone to do that. Yeah, but that's really interesting. I won't be able to do that for 10 reps.
It's not.
All right, pike heel taps. So pike position, taking out a good view of Rachel. Instagram doesn't, but
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. Yeah.
Pardon me.
All right, perfect.
Sorry.
You're gonna push your butt towards the ceiling and then tap your heel.
And come back down.
Yep.
Like
Okay, that's 1. You're gonna do 20 total. Now you can also do windshield wipers, which is prone position facing up. Okay, reaching for your toes. Now when you do windshield wipers, you can do 20 per side. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 for 20. If you're gonna do a pike heel tap, you only do 1 per leg, 20 total. Okay? Why? Because the pike heel tap is a lot harder than the windshield wipers, and it takes twice as long. So if you have the time and the energy, God bless you. Go ahead and do the pike heel taps 20 per side. In 4, 3, 2, and 1, 2.
This is so much easier.
You think so?
Oh,
Oh,
the step.
4, 5, 6, 7. About the same movement. 8, except you don't have any weight in your arms. 9, 10, and you're not hinging or piking. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, couple more, 19, and 20. Good. You can also do this with a sustained pike, which means you don't pike back down. So from a pike position, okay, maintain that pike position and just tap. That might be a bit challenging for your calves and for your hamstrings. So for those of you who could maintain that pike position, you could try that too. All right, so now we come to our 30s, 40s, and 50s. We're gonna do 30 flies. So you're gonna need dumbbells for that. If you don't have dumbbells, again, you can do dips. Something that will hit your triceps or your rear delt. Okay. 4 small muscles. 3. 30 flies, 30 dips. 2 and 1. Bending my elbows at the top to allow my tricep to go to work. 4, 5. Am I gonna do 30 straight? Probably not. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Don't do what I just did.
14,
Lift that chest.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Gonna take a little break. Lactic acid is pulling my shoulders, so I'm gonna continue with another 10.
Oh, those are harder.
6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Awesome. So obviously, the flies, especially with lighter dumbbells, it's a lot easier than the heel taps. Okay, so now we come to our 4th exercise. We're gonna do V-ups. You're gonna do toy soldiers.
I can
Yeah.
do a couple different.
So as we said, yeah, we can mix and match because the toy soldiers we use in place sometimes with either mountain climbers or some kind of a sit up or some kind of a crunch workout. So in fact, Rachel has several different ways. She also does leg raises. I'm just gonna do 20 normal V-ups and then 20 of the bit more difficult V-ups as well. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Lift your legs, touch your toes. 5, 6, 7. Remember, this is a crunch. 8, 9, 10. It's a core workout. 11. You can also do a sit-up if you want, but it's a lot slower. 18, 19, and 20. And what Rachel's doing is essentially half a V-up, the lower portion. Now, sit-up takes a lot longer. So if you're gonna write your own Brusen, we suggest that you do 30 sit-ups instead of 40 sit-ups. It will, or 40, yeah. That will probably take as much time to do. 30 sit-ups might take as much time as say 40 V-ups, just because the sit-up is almost like a 2-part movement or 3-part movement where you lift your head, then your back, then your torso. Okay, I'm gonna finish with 20 more V-ups. This time I'm gonna lift my back off the floor. 2, 3, 4. Rachel's doing the cherry bomb. 5. Basically trying to wrap her hands around her arms around her legs. 6, 7. That was quick. 8, 9. I got 10 more. See if I can push 10. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. All right, so we come to our last workout, our 5th workout. Again, it's either the easiest or the fastest. So 50 mountain climbers per side. For those of you who got both sides, then that means it's 100 mountain climbers. Okay. Plank position on your hands, shoulders on top of your elbows, elbows on top of your wrists. You run your knees. I see a lot of people do mountain climbers this way. I can't even do it. Oh, don't kick your butt. Knee your gut. Okay. You're driving your knee as far forward and as far high as you can. I see a lot of people just lifting their feet, trying to kick their butt. It's not a donkey kick. Okay. That's really bad on your knees. It's really bad on your toes and your ankles. Just go forward with that knee. Okay. 50 mountain climbers in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull that knee forward. 10. 20. In fact, your knee and your toe are on the same plane. Travel the same line. 30. You're gonna feel this in your core, especially after doing 40 VLs. 40. 7, 8, 9, and 50. Woo, and we are done. Great stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Thank you for the effort. Thank you for finishing strong this week. So this concludes our 2 weeks of mostly HIIT themed workout. Next week, we're going to transition to something a little heavier. Now, I do understand that not everybody has the luxury of having dumbbells. We will always provide modifications for our body weight, but the intent is the same. It's going to be a lot more deliberate, a lot slower pattern types of lift as opposed to the high intensity EMOMs and AMRAPs. So we're not going to have too many of those. Maybe as a finisher, but the main sets are going to be pattern lifts, 5x5s, which are dumbbell or barbell complexes, as well as supersets and triple sets. All right, true. Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for letting us share your workout. Thanks for letting us work out with you. We'll see you. Have a great weekend. Are you gonna post a cycle class?
Oh yeah, cycle class on Sunday, and probably we'll see about tomorrow.
9:30.
Yeah.
All right. So God bless all. Take care. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you.
I am disgusting.